You know, you can have your trip to Paris or Spain. You can climb Mount Everest and longboard down, or whatever it is crazy white people are doing nowadays. I just want Disneyland. But Disneyland, it turns out, is a hotbed for spreading germs and viruses. So it's closed for the near future. I was supposed to go in April, but that was of course canceled, which is sad, but I understand why they're doing it. I understand that, but some people don't.
Alright, listen up, y'all. Ain't no virus coming for me. Why is that, you might ask? I got a little something called the Second Amendment.
Just thinking about Disneyland sitting there all abandoned makes me... Disneyland! No! But I thought this would be a good opportunity to give you guys a virtual tour of Disneyland. And what better way to do it than with this? The commemorative Disneyland playset from 1988, only available from Sears. Missing the top of the Dumbo ride and the entrance building. It's expensive, I don't want to replace it, deal with it. So let's say you went to Disneyland. This will be you, alright? You enter and you walk down Main Street. You might want to wear shin guards because there are strollers everywhere and you're probably going to get hit. There's some really cool stuff to buy here. Moving along, my best advice is to go to the rides that get the longest lines at the end of the day. So we're going to go over to Tomorrowland, which should be here. Don't know why it's here, and ride Space Mountain. Now you can actually find YouTube videos of most of the rides at Disneyland, which comes in really handy at a time like this when you're stuck at home. But let me tell you something. When you're on a ride and there's a guy in front of you with his camera out, it's the most annoying thing. And it doesn't exactly work with Space Mountain because that ride is pretty much pitch black. But we'll try it out. Alright, that was fun. Let's head over to the Matterhorn, which I guess would be here. This is another line that can get nuts later in the day. Remember how I complained about people filming while on the rides? Well, when my wife and I went to Disneyland for our honeymoon, there may have been a guy filming on the Matterhorn. And I may have flipped off his camera. Look, I'm not proud of it, but I felt it needed to be done. And I'm also pretty sure he didn't notice, so he'll have a rude awakening whenever he decides to rewatch that video. Alright, now we'll go ahead and make our way over to Fantasyland and ride a couple dark rides. My favorites are Mr. Toad's Wild Ride and Peter Pan. The Dumbo ride sucks. It's just the same as any carnival or fair ride that spins around, but there's always a stupid long line for it. I don't understand. Same goes for the teacups, alright? After that, we're gonna trek all the way over to Adventureland, but first, a quick word from Rodney.
You know, Disneyland has a lot of great things to do, but my favorite thing is the Hall of Presidents. You know, why go on a bunch of silly children's rides when you can learn all about the unique vision our founding fathers had for this country?
Rodney, you are so incredibly lame.
Why? Because I value education?
No, because you'd rather listen to creepy animatronic Abe Lincoln than go on an adventure with Indiana Jones. And speaking of which, we're going to go over to Indiana Jones, which is right about here. And then, of course, Pirates of the Caribbean and the Haunted Mansion. We'll say that's over here somewhere.
Speak up, or may Apache swim with...
Ooh, spooky! These are just some of my favorite things about the place. There's a ton we didn't go over. There's Critter Country, Toontown, and then there's of course the new Galaxy's Edge, which I haven't had the chance to visit yet myself. There's even an entire second park called California Adventure, which is also a lot of fun. It would take us hours to go over everything, but make sure you go visit Disneyland once the apocalypse is over. I promise you'll have a good time.
You know, Walt Disney's head is preserved in a time capsule under Main Street.